I have this idea in my head that there are no failed paint jobs. And if you want to know why, stick with me. Hey guys, and welcome to The Bear and the Brush. And today we're going to talk about failed paint jobs. And I personally think that there are no failed paint jobs. Is this mini perfect? No. Did I achieve anything I wanted in this paint job? No. Did I make mistakes? Plenty. So why do I still love this mini? It's not the sculpt, it's not the sculptor, it is what I did with it and what I learned from it and what I gained from it. That's why I still love this mini and why I have it still in my cabinet. It's so easy to say that you failed at something, but if you learned something, you did not fail, you learned. It's simple as that. So first, let's take a look at this mini and check what I wanted to accomplish. This video should have been about Mothercolor light. So building up different hues, different variations from one color. Not mixing in the same color into every tone, so like you do with a Mothercolor, but building up from the same base tone to a purple, to a red, to an orange. And I wanted to do some OSL. By the way, for this paint job I used the reusable wet palette paper from Red Bros Games, and at this point I already washed it off 6 times, and I washed it off 3 or 4 times more on this paint job, and this stuff is amazing. It holds up like forever. I can really recommend it. Okay, let's take a look at Mothercolor light a bit more detailed. I like to start basically every paint job with a Xenophobe. I don't even know why anymore, it's just a thing I do. It helps me to see all the volumes. The concept of Mothercolor is quite simple. You mix one color into every blend on every color you use. And I wanted to simplify that. Mixing one color into every color sounded a bit tedious, so I went for the easier way. The armor, hair, wood, leather, everything started from the same red. Even the trousers and the cloak and purple started from the same red mixed with a blue. And then I used the same blue for all the other stuff that was going to be blue. But I left out things like skin tone and the yellow trim on the armor. All this sounds more complicated than it really is. I mean, I used the same base tone for every mix I made, and the secret here is mixing. Use the same base tone for everything that's coming out of the same corner of the color wheel. For the hair, I used some lighter tones to dry brush on. And for the skin, I used the same lighter tones to build up the layers. I mean, I want some tonal consistency and tonal variation at the same time. Sounds stupid, but it works. What really helped me was pre-mixing a giant gradient for all the blends I was trying to do, so I could always pick the color I needed. For the armor plates, I went from a dark red over a normal red to an orange, lighter orange, and then even into a yellow, and at the end into a yellow-white, off-white color. And this made picking the right color for the next highlight, grabbing a bit of color for a glaze, so easy, and I really enjoy painting that way. This also would have worked really well with the purple, but I kinda got impatient. I often get impatient, and then I fell back to my painterly painting style, and I ignored all the smooth blends, and this made the paint job kind of inconsistent. So I really have to learn to be more patient, and that's one of the things I took away from this paint job. I did the same build-up technique from dark to light for all the pouches and for the staff and all the other black and brown stuff. And then I went over to the yellow, and the yellow had also some tones inside that I used to brighten up the orange or brighten up the purple, but not the base coat of the red or blue itself. Last part was painting in all the brightest highlights, all the textures and all the fine details. And if I had stopped here, this would honestly been a good miniature. I'm quite proud of that look. But I decided I wanted to do OSL for the staff. And that decision was kind of bad. I mean, I had some troubles with the eyes because I did not use the proper brushes for the eyes, but the rest I was happy with. We should also take a look at what I did with the OSL and where I went wrong. And from here on out, everything went downhill. I picked up an ink and used it through the airbrush to start my OSL effect, but I made a quite big mistake. I did not watch out what kind of opacity that ink delivered, and it was quite opaque. The first burst through the airbrush looked quite fine, but then putting it on the back of the miniature, it got pretty dark pretty quickly. That was definitely not the effect I was looking for, and I kind of panicked. And the next step will be adding white, and I don't know if I should have done that earlier or if I should have skipped that, because white is also quite opaque and covers a lot of the mini. Also, white can turn into a pretty speckling mess, and that's why the miniature now looks grainy AF. And that is sad. That is really sad, but I learned a lot of stuff, and that's fine. If you take away stuff from your quotation marks failure, it's not a failure, it's a learning experience. I then started to experiment. I tried to fix it with transparent white from Pro Acryl, but that also didn't make it better, and I have to take a completely new approach to OSL. Yes, this kind of OSL can work, and I made a cheating video on how to cheat OSL for smaller miniatures, but for this display kind of style, this is not the right way, and I will need to sit myself down and try to learn it the proper way. Totally unrelated. This guy is not finished. Why isn't he finished? Because I paint him on stream. And if you want to see me stream, I try to do it every Friday, except for the first Friday of the month, because that is Discord Community Day. And if you want to see me paint stuff like this, join me on Twitch. I think it takes a lot of courage to look at the things you've not done right and still be proud of them. Be proud of the learning experience. Be proud of your attempt of trying something new. And I rarely see people put up their stuff they see as failures on YouTube or on Instagram or anywhere else. I showed this to non-miniature painters and they were like, dude, this is sick, this is cool, you did a great job. And I was like, what this and what that. But if you got constructive criticism, please leave it as a comment under this video. It would help me a lot. I learned that OSL is more than spraying on an ink. And if you spray on an ink, you need to do it properly. I also learned a lot about light and light placement, which is a good thing to learn. I found that just spraying from an angle doesn't just fix your OSL. You need to be able to do it with a brush. So the next time I will do an OSL, I will do it with a brush, definitely. I learned about my style. I found my style, I accepted my style, I will embrace my style, but I will try other styles too. So I got a basic understanding of painting styles, which is amazing. I learned that painting eyes is hard, and I need a proper brush for that. My size 1 and size 2 are not the fitting tool for that job, at least in my opinion. You can prove me wrong, you can tell me I'm wrong, you can tell me to practice more, but I have the feeling that painting with a size 1 or 2 is not the greatest for painting eyes on such a small miniature. I also learned that Mothercolor light works. It works great. I will try to do this as often as I can. Again, many thanks to my patrons and everyone who supports me. Look at all these amazing guys here on the screen. Thanks so much, and thanks to my moderators and everyone in the Discord. And if you want to join the community, there's a link down below in the description. If you enjoyed this video, I would be very happy if you could hit all those pesky buttons down below. Like, comment, subscribe, maybe consider becoming a patron of mine. That really helps out, and I'm really thankful. Also, remember guys, this is your journey. This is your painting journey. And the only person who can tell you that you failed a paint job, the only person who is permitted to do that is you. No one else has the right to tell you that you screwed up a paint job. And why would you be mean to yourself? Remember, it is your journey. And your journey should be learning and embracing and not talking about failure. So for me, it is crystal clear there are no failed paint jobs. The only thing that is there is learning. So, thanks guys for watching. Don't be so hard on yourself. See you next time here on The Bear and the Brush. Bye bye.